How's it going, all you guys and girls in the Illumination? Time to jump aboard the Loom train. It's me, it's JJD, JJ the Illuminator here, the sweet one. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames. We won't get into that right now. I'm laughing because when I went like this, I got myself right in the lip. I was like, Anyway, happy Halloween to everyone out there. Being that it's Halloween, I wanted to tell a little Halloween story. When I was a kid, my dad, when I was a kid, he a lot of times he worked at least 2 or 3 jobs, but he still found time to take me trick-or-treating when I was a kid. I can remember my mother would buy all different kinds of costumes every year for me. One year I was a mummy, and all the wrappings ended up all falling all off me and everything. Another year I was Popeye and had a mask on. All different things. I was a stormtrooper one year from Empire Strikes Back, the year the Empire Strikes Back came out, like 1981 or 82 or something. But long story short, my dad always dressed as Frankenstein. He had this big mask that he would put on, and the hair was all wild, not the traditional Frankenstein like you see in the old black and white movies. But he had football pads from when he was on the football team in high school, and he'd put them underneath this black, like suit jacket that he had, and had this chain that he would drag, and he'd walk like, like a zombie type thing. And it was great, man. Let me tell you, it was a great costume, and he did that almost every single year. And I can remember, now that I'm looking back, it seems different. At the time, it just was life. But out of all the other kids that I knew in my neighborhood, my dad was the only one that actually took me to, went with me all these places. All my friends all went alone. I'm thinking now, if this was nowadays, how many parents would want their kids to go alone? It depends on the parents, I guess. But back then, there was less to worry about. Even though there was things to worry about, there was always people talking about razor blades and candy and everything. But to think, my dad was the only one in the neighborhood that cared enough about me to go with me. And one time my dad was sick, my mom went with me. But, it's like my parents cared enough about me to take me to, houses that we didn't know. Well, granted, it was the, late 70s, early 80s. It was a different world back then. But still, we went to houses of people we didn't know. Had this been today, I wouldn't want my kids to go to any house I didn't know. I'd rather go to Walmart and buy them a big bag of candy and, just go to grandma and grandpa's house and, dress up and do stuff like that than go to streets to people that, we went, the way, the plot that I lived on, it was kind of like all interconnecting streets. So there was a lot of houses. You could just go right around the block and all the different blocks. And you could make yourself a pretty good killing on, candy and stuff. Except for, the people that would give little boxes of raisins or, there's one woman every year would give 5 pennies. It's like, oh my goodness. But, what kid wants that, right? But looking back on it, my parents cared enough way back when to go with me and make sure I was going to be safe. And I'm just not sure how many other people cared that much. And whether it's today or back then, I'm not sure if it's the same. I know it's not the same world, but you know what I'm getting at? I had a friend lived right across the street from me. And I've told the story before. I'm sure I've told the story before. His mother never knew where he was. He was always, I was always one of those kids I was told, when the streetlights come on, you head home. And that was the rules, that was the law, and that's what I did. I never thought there was anything wrong with that. He was out midnight. We're talking about, a 7-year-old out until midnight, never knew where he was. His parents just were totally different parents. And then they'd yell at him and everything, and it didn't solve anything. The next day he did the exact same thing. But I guess it's all in how you're brought up. And everyone's brought up differently, I guess. Anyway, once again, happy Halloween. I hope this video finds you well. I'm off to the races. I love you all. Stay safe. Have a good rest of the day. Be good to yourself. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.